Let me ask you guys, what is the biggest problem with home security cameras today? First of all, they require dedicated power, and in most cases, they also require you to connect them through Ethernet. Secondly, they're not smart, meaning you can't use your smart home devices. And then lastly, in some cases, you also have to pay for cloud storage, which means that you have to have monthly fees. It's just not a good thing. So Amazon, which by the way is the sponsor of today's video, has a solution. So let's go ahead and dive right in first with the sync module. So think of the sync module like the hub. So you can actually connect up to 10 Amazon Blink XT2 cameras. Now let's go ahead and do a really quick unboxing to see what's inside. I haven't even seen this myself. First of all, you got a quick start guide and this little module right here. Gosh, this thing is small. One USB port. Now this does require power, but you set this in your home and you kind of set it and forget it. And then let's go ahead and take a look at some of the accessories here. You got a power brick and a micro USB cable. So this is for the Amazon Sync module. So we're gonna go ahead and set this aside. Let's go ahead and unbox the Amazon Blink XT2 camera. Now, this camera will pair with the module, which I just showed you guys a little bit earlier. Now, what's neat about these cameras, as I said earlier, there's no power needed. It's all through battery. Now, I have a couple of friends who actually own the very first generation, and they've all told me that they've had theirs for over a year and they haven't replaced the battery at all. This is supposed to last up to 2 years. So we have our Amazon Blink XT2 camera, and you can see here, there's a little speaker. So there is two-way communication, and then the batteries go inside here. And actually, let's go ahead and take a look. So there's a little instruction here. We'll peel this off. XT2 branding, that looks really nice. And then we're gonna go ahead and push this down, lift up the cover. Okay, there we go. So we can put two batteries, and inside, I'm guessing, yep, there's the two batteries. We have the two sets of screws, and then there's also a little mounting plate. Now you can use this indoors or also outdoors. So here's a little mount that we'll be using. So I'm gonna mount mine outdoors. And then inside we have two AA batteries. So let's go ahead and put these batteries on the plate. That's it. I think we're pretty much ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and place this outside where I wanna set this up, kind of play with it, and then give you guys a final update. That's it. We're done. Okay guys, so if you notice it looks somewhat different, that's because it's been several weeks. I wanted to take the time to fully learn everything and test everything out. So let's go ahead and dive into the app because I think this thing is really powerful. So I'll jump into settings. You'll notice it says name driveway. That's because I actually placed mine towards the driveway, but if you have multiple Amazon Blink XT2s, you can name them whatever you want. Backyard, kitchen. That's the benefit. You can use these indoors and outdoors. You have battery life, which is okay. I've had this again for a couple weeks, almost been a month now. Temperature looks great. Motion detection. So this is where it gets really powerful. So for example, activity zones is one of my favorite things. So you'll notice here there's a view of my driveway, but you'll also notice that you can see the streets. Well, every time a car passes by, guess what? It will trigger a notification, but I don't want that. So what I can do is I can actually push on this and gray certain areas out. So for example, even this area, my neighbor sometimes takes out the trash. I don't want to get a notification of that. But if you do, you can just leave it active. But what I like to do here is just kind of make these areas inactive, and I can actually even fine tune this. If I hit advanced, it will bring up the grid a little tighter, and I can just really get in there, including the little sidewalk here. I don't really care about that. And then I can just hit done and save that. And it works really good. We're gonna get to that in a second. But yeah, that is actually one of my favorite features. Now below that, we have retrigger time, sensitivity, and clip length. So for example, when it triggers or it detects motion, it will record a clip, in my case, for 30 seconds. Now you can set this from as low as 5 seconds to as much as 60 seconds. Now keep in mind, the higher the number, the more battery it's going to drain. I find that 30 seconds for me is a sweet spot. Same thing with sensitivity. I found that 6, just for me, it worked the best. Down below you see it says end clip early if motion stops. So this is actually a great feature. So if somebody walks into that frame and it starts recording, as soon as they leave the frame, it will actually stop recording, which is good because remember, every time it records, it's just using battery, and I like to enable it just to preserve a little bit battery life. You have different things like IR control, so it does have like night vision, a microphone, which works great. You can have that two-way communication, and this is also really good, for example, if you have somebody dropping off a package, a friend, or you just need to communicate with somebody. Once again, that works really well. And the speaker volume is actually pretty loud, both on the camera side and also on the phone side. There's 3 different types of video quality settings. There's Saver, Best, and Enhance. Now, personally for me, I'm a stickler for quality. I like Enhance, even though it will drain the battery life a little bit more, but that's okay. It takes me 30 seconds to swap out the battery, so I'd rather have better quality. Although Best looks good, no complaints there, but just for me, I like Enhance. Let's go ahead and jump into the storage folder. So you'll notice it says storage 11%. That means it's using 11% of my 2 hours of free storage. So what happens after 2 hours? Do you have to pay for it? No, everything is free. So the idea is after 2 hours, it will automatically delete the oldest clip. However, you can also manage your clips. So right now I have mine set to automatically delete after 7 days. You can set it to 3 days or even a year, or you can also manually delete. Like for example, this clip here, I'm just gonna manually delete it, and that's okay, like it doesn't really matter. So remember how I told you guys about Activity Zone? Let me show you how well it works. So for example, yesterday, I remember Connor leaving. You'll notice here, as he left my home, right there, you can't even see him. You just see like a piece of his hair, and it automatically starts recording. Now remember, I don't really care about the street, so as soon as he starts leaving my driveway and going into the sidewalk area, it will automatically stop recording. Boom, right there, which is great. But yeah, I really love everything about this. I love the app. I love the fact that you don't have to pay for any cloud storage. Everything works great, and I will definitely be buying more of these and adding them around my home. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. My name is Armando. Thanks again for watching, and you guys will catch me in the next one. Adios.